Okay, so the portal is pretty good condition. It's intact, really. So what we're going to do then is just have a look. Now I know it is fenced off further in here, so we can't actually get right through it. And I can hear a lot of water running through this tunnel. But as you can see there is a fence. Right, so that's all we can see of the tunnel. As you can see, it's very, very wet inside. I'll just zoom in the light for you a little bit. You can't really see much. It's literally just a big puddle of water and an eerily quiet sound, isn't it? But we can't actually see anything at the other end because there's a curve to it. So you can't see the other side. And it's on quite an incline as well. You can see it sloping up as it makes its way to the back. Okay, so we've just got this strange structure in the middle, which has got a staircase, as you can see here. Or it did have. Now Richie said, and it's a good point actually, if this was sold for landfill, which it probably was, and they've started to fill it in back there, as I said, they would have filled this tunnel in completely. But they would have still needed access to this tunnel. So what they would have done is accessed it from the top of the bridge up there, or the tunnel portal, into the hall there, down some stairs, and then down these stairs. So they could still have access to the tunnel. That's pretty good, that, isn't it? Nice little idea, I suppose. But they never filled it in, so what you're seeing today is what's left. Anyway, here's a nice shot from the top of the stairs, as far as I can get up anyway. Nothing to see, really. So Richie was just saying, apparently this tunnel had so much of a gradient that they had to whistle to a signal box not far away to let them know they were coming through, so they could get a run at it to go through the tunnel. They were supposed to be double-headed to get through the tunnel because of the gradient. But he said occasionally they weren't, and they used to whistle and smash on through the tunnel to get up the gradient. Or they would get stuck in the tunnel, which apparently did happen, and the wheels were slipping on the track. Another nice shot of the portal here before we leave. So that's all you can see really. Like I said, there isn't much inside. We can't go through because of the fence covered in the vandal paint. Right, so we've reached a place. Now this building opposite, which is now a funeral director's, used to be a pub called the Shoulder of Mutton. Now right behind the pub is the tunnel portal. Now the rumours are that the LNWR bought that pub because when they built the tunnel they were frightened that the portal may collapse and the pub might go into it, so they bought the pub just as a precautionary measure. Right, so we've reached the other side of the Gomersal Tunnel. We're now at the eastern portal. So what you saw earlier on was the other side. And again, this is well and truly fenced off at this side. And there's no staircase here either. But you can see this cutting is slightly different. There's no cutting here. It's actually a nice brick or stone embankment here. As you can see just back there. Nice high walls on that side. And same with this side. And again, it's in very good condition. All the stonework is intact. But yeah, like you can see, completely fenced off, so we ain't going to be going in there anyway. And that Shoulder of Mutton pub is right at the top of here somewhere, just behind. So that's why they bought the pub. So directly in front of us now, we are stood in the cutting of the Gomersal Tunnel. Just to the left over there would have been Gomersal Station, just where them houses are. So it would have branched slightly left there. And then it also branched right, and on the right hand side over there was a large goods shed as well. But while we're here, we've just noticed a nice wall there. When you see a wall, we always think there must be something there. So I've checked the old maps, and it appears there was a signal box roughly in this spot here where we are now. So that to me would add up that that was the back wall of a signal box maybe. So we're just toddling through this cutting, and Richie's just found a lot of railings stuck in the floor down here. And what appears to be an old coal cart of some sort as well. We're not quite sure. A lot of old ironwork anyway that's rusted. And so we're currently stood on what is known as Summerbridge Close. Now it's a lovely little suburb, little housing area. But this used to be the site of the large goods shed, which was on the right hand side here. And you had Gomersal Station probably right about here, heading that way towards the road. Once it gets to the road over there, it then crossed on a bridge. So we're now on the site of the Oakwell Hall Country Park, which is just behind us, and we stood on an abutment of a bridge. Now I don't know if you can make that out, but there's the road down there. That's Bradford Road, just below us. You've got the other abutment on the other side, which has now got a house on it, and the same this side. There's a lot of ballast there as well. That will be original. Anyway, we're going to now continue on the curve as it heads through the Oakwell Hall Country Park, or around the back of it. We're going to walk the whole curve and point out the numerous bridges and things that are remaining on there, and see if we can find anything for you guys. So we're just battling our way through the Oakwell Hall Country Park site, and you can see the track bed as it heads towards us there through them trees. You can still see the way the trees are marked out. So it came towards us here. We're now on a footpath. So it now joins where this footpath is now. But we've just come through all them brambles there. It wasn't too bad actually. And now we're heading on up, right through here. And you can see the M62 approaching from the left, just up there on the embankment. You'll see how close it gets to the former track bed here as we get further up. So I've just checked out the old maps while I'm walking on this embankment, like I always do. And I just said to Richie, there was a milepost somewhere around here at the side of the track. And Richie said, well, it'd be long gone if there was. And he said, roughly where was it positioned? And I said, right next to where we are now. We've just clambered down the banking and we think we bloody found it. It's just there. So we just stepped down the side and Richie said, hang on, it's concrete there. It's sunk into the ground. It's definitely a massive piece of concrete. He's trying to get it out. So he's managed to pull it out of the ground. We're not 100% sure if it is, but it looks like it to us. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you think this could be the milepost. Obviously there's no paintwork on it anymore, but it was just buried in the ground, right roughly where the map said it would be. Yeah, that's amazing. So when we reach this section here, there would have been an underpass here, so the line would have continued straight on at a higher gradient, as you can see opposite there. And then just under here there would have been a footpath or some kind of farmer's track underneath and a nice arched bridge. But that's long gone now, and they've just basically cut it all out, and now you slope down and then back up the other side. But there's rumours going around as well that it was actually the M62's fault as to why this bridge was removed. Because when they did the embankment for the motorway up there, they did a lot of major earthworks at this site here. So you can clearly see on this section where the track bed was. Again, we're on a very high embankment now, probably 30-40 feet down the side here on both sides. The M62 is up there on the higher one, right at the top. And we're just curve, it's a gentle curve all the way around this huge site here. Right, so we've come to the end of the track bed here. And the track continues through the trees that way on that level. And we're now going to walk up the side here, up to Warren Lane, which is a bridge just there over the track. You can just see it through the trees. So Warren Lane runs over there. You can see a good shot of the bridge just there through the trees. And here's a nice shot on top of Warren Lane here. And a nice view from the other side as well. Bit of damage on this wall here. You can see how well made they are underneath, they're packed with stone. And lots of mortar in there. Yeah, very well made inside these bridges. Not like today, all concrete. You can still see the girder section intact there on the bridge. So we're making our way through the country park on this pathway here. And as you can see, we're now going to take a steep climb up there on this pathway. But the cutting is down there and it still continues at that level. So the cutting gets deeper and we get higher on this side. And Richie said further on there used to be a massive rock face either side of the railway line, basically the cutting. But just here, I don't know if you can see, just running across there is like a steel frame or an iron frame. It's like a bridge. That used to be an aqueduct. Anyway, here's the aqueduct and it's still in use today. I never knew that. You can just see the water running over it there. So you've got yourself a culvert here and the water just trickles across from a culvert on the other side over there. Yeah, I didn't actually know it was still in use, but it is. How good is that? Let's take a closer look at the structure there. Yeah, it just trickles out from the other side and it was purposely built just to carry the water over the railway line. Why they didn't just build a pipe, I don't know. And you can see the engineering brick there again, and then it just pops out of this little tiny little slat underneath here. Now apparently it's just to fill up the mill pond, which is just down there near the hall. But anyway, we're going to continue up this footpath now, this steep hill, and like I said, the cutting is down there alongside us. So we've reached the top of that footpath, and you can see how deep that cutting is down there now. Probably talking 50 feet down. It's a fair drop down there, and it's getting deeper over there. So we've made our way down this path here, and literally within a few hundred yards, not even that, we're now level with the track again. And it's right here, so it would have continued left to right on the camera. And then we've got an embankment here now, a slight embankment. Anyway, you've got a sheer drop down there and a small drop just to this side. Right, so we've reached the end of the cutting here, but it's not the end. It used to continue through here in the cutting. So what you're seeing now is the sides starting to rise up. And these have got rock on both sides, so it's a nice rock wall. And I will hopefully show you a picture of that in a minute. But you can see now it's been infilled all the way up to there. Richie said that that is now just an empty piece of land, but they are planning to build houses on it. And then you'll hit a bridge, so it would have gone in a cutting and gone underneath Fieldhead Road, or lane, just ahead up there under a bridge. You can still see the bridge wall, which will show you up there, but now it's just a field in front of it. So we're on top of what used to be a really deep cutting here, probably the same as the one back there, about 50 foot deep, and we stood right on top of it now. So when I said earlier on, it's now just landfill, you can see exactly what I was talking about. And they are planning to build houses on this, but right here would have been a really deep cutting with rocks either side. There's a line headed towards us. You've got Fieldhead Lane just there, and you can see engineering brick there, so the abutment still stands today. And if we get closer to the wall down here, because this was a 3-arch viaduct apparently, they actually called it a viaduct with it having more than one arch. They just put you in there, you can see the top of the viaduct just there, just exposed above the pile of rubbish there, or the infill. Yeah, I bet if you were to dig a couple of feet down here, you would definitely see the top of the viaduct, and I bet it's not filled in underneath this road. They normally are. Now here we are on Fieldhead Lane. You can see the abutment there for the viaduct, not a bridge. We're now technically in Birstall, and there was a station in Birstall called Upper Birstall. So we're going to continue to my left and onwards on the line